Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Anthony Lug. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett is signaling a major shift in tourism for Jamaica's eastern parishes. He made the announcement at the 2025 staging of the Jamaica Product Exchange JPEX conference in Montego Bay.
Eastern parishes in Jamaica have long been celebrated for their rivers, beaches, and rustic charm, driving visitors with their natural beauty and unspoiled landscapes. But now, these parishes are at the center of a bold new proposal.
We want to zone the entire area from Arocabessa to Port Antonio, again, for villas and high-end villas.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett went further, outlining plans for additional luxury developments across the region.
We are redefining Portland and Port Antonio, and to make Port Antonio the high-end destination within Jamaica. We have moved already to realign the highway. We're going to be making over a new township within the area. And we are going to be expanding the cruise facilities there and to enable more boutique vessels to come into the Port Antonio area so as to build out again the higher end of the cruise business within that area.
Speaking at the 2025 staging of the JPEX conference in Montego Bay, he also hinted that similar development plans are being considered for St. Thomas, signaling a broader push to expand luxury tourism across Jamaica's eastern parishes.
St. Thomas is the new oyster. We've built out the new town of Morant Bay with modern facilities, and we have the largest area of unspoiled, untouched beach line in the country in St. Thomas. 7 miles straight of uninterrupted beach ready for development.
Wellness tourism is projected to reach $1.3 trillion by 2027. Jamaica is eyeing growth. Yet, questions linger over how the country can pursue high-end development in parishes like Portland and St. Thomas without undermining the natural landscapes that make their ecotourism offerings so unique.
It's called diversification of the experience. The visitors have different, what we call psychographic profiles. They want different types of experiences. So there's the demand for luxury, high-end, and there's demand for medium budget. And then there are those who are backpackers, as we call them. They just want to go out. They are campers or glampers or, people who really just want an earthy experience.
These future developments are backed by strong numbers. As Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says, by the end of 2025, Jamaica is projected to host 4.3 million visitors and earn $4.6 billion, a 7.6% increase over 2024. Deidre Thomas, TVJ News.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica has released its latest Producer Price Index, showing mixed results across 2 major industries. In August, the mining and quarrying industry saw a slight increase of 0.2% in producer prices. This was driven mainly by a similar rise in the bauxite mining and alumina processing group. Meanwhile, the manufacturing industry recorded a 0.1% decline, largely due to a 1.4% drop in refined petroleum products. That decline was partially offset by a 0.2% increase in food, beverages, and tobacco. Looking at the year-on-year figures from August 2024 to August 2025, the mining and quarrying industry fell by 6.6%, with bauxite and alumina processing down by 7.5%. On the other hand, the manufacturing industry rose by 1.9% thanks to a 3.1% increase in food, beverages, and tobacco. However, that gain has moderated by a 5.7% decline in refined petroleum products. Global ratings agency Standards & Poor's has upgraded the country's credit rating, signaling growing confidence in the nation's fiscal management. Here's more in this report. And we go now to the stocks. The JSE index declined by 2,022 points, while the junior market index declined by 20 points. Among the winners were A.S. Bryden & Sons Holdings, Atlantic Hardware and Plumbing, Berger Paints, Caribbean Cement, and Caribbean Producers. The losers include 138 Student Living, AMG Packaging and Paper, Cargo Handlers, Caribbean Assurance Brokers, and Caribbean Cream. 19 stocks traded firm. And foreign exchange trading ended with banks and cambios selling the US dollar for an average $161.13. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $117.66, while the pound is going for $216.08, and the euro is selling for an average $193.73. And we go now to an earlier story that global ratings agency Standards & Poor's has upgraded the country's credit rating. Now, the National Fiscal Management, the Standards & Poor Global Rating has upgraded Jamaica's long-term foreign and local currency credit rating from BB to BB while maintaining a positive outlook. The agency says the upgrade reflects stronger institutional and policy frameworks backed by a bipartisan support for macroeconomic policies focused on reducing national debt. S&P highlighted Jamaica's commitment to achieving a debt-to-GDP ratio of 60% or less by March 2028, citing the country's impressive track record of primary surpluses that have exceeded 3% of GDP for 10 consecutive years, even through major global shocks like the pandemic and climate-related events. The positive outlook suggests that Jamaica could meet its debt target ahead of schedule, further reducing the government's debt burden. And that's the Business Day. I'm Anthony Lugg. News from overseas after the break.